Good afternoon, everybody. This is Mike with SoundstageEDU. Decided to jump in here and give you guys a quick update. Wasn't sure what to put this under, so we're just going to call this a green room episode. You know what a green room is. It's where everybody goes to get prepared for the show. Maybe it's a dressing room, maybe it's where they got their snacks, but either way, it's where our students go, especially in the theater, will go before a performance starts, where they can collect themselves. And that's kind of what this is going to be. This is our green room. And what we're going to talk about for about 5-6 minutes is about the rest stops. This week told me everything I needed to know. You guys listened, you searched, you shared. The message we brought this week hit home. And clearly, it hit hard. So I wanted to just stop off on the road here, like a rest stop, and just tell you what's next for that segment of our show within the SoundstageEDU ecosystem. Because the past few days have been loud. The analytics spiked, sure. But what mattered most was why. I am not like a lot of the podcast creators or content creators or movement starters that just look for sheer numbers and volume of people. Sure, those things help. I, like all the rest of them, believe that the more people that hear this message, the more people that will be helped. But I'm also an analytic person that's going to step back and say, okay, I see the spike. Why did it happen? What caused it? Can it be replicated? But instead of looking at it from a sheer growth perspective, I looked at it from a human perspective, as a member of the fine arts community, as a former educator, as a parent, as a lover of my community. I needed to find out why that spike happened. And there was one common thread through all of it. It all happened when I released an emergency episode, a hot take sound off, and a long form episode all around the same conversation. And what that was we pulled back the curtain on some really tough truths about our booster culture and support systems that are in place for our kids. And your reaction told me one thing loud and clear, and that's this. This conversation matters. Now, here's what's next. You'll get your next 2 rest stops just as planned. They're already loaded and ready to drop. But starting Monday morning at 6:30 a.m., let me get you a calendar date on that, because I know that the way podcasts live, there's no telling when you guys are listening to this. So if my computer will unlock itself, so that will be October 20th, 2025. That's the Monday I'm talking about. Monday morning at 6:30 a.m. Central, October 20th, 2025, we're going to pivot. We're going to pivot the entire rest stop message. I mean, the rest stop has always been something special inside of the SoundstageEDU ecosystem. It was the first thing that ever started that was going to have daily presence. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know if I was even going to be able to keep up. And I still have that fear. I'm always just a couple of days ahead when I need to be much more than just a couple of days ahead, because what if I have to go on a trip? I don't want to leave you guys without your morning ritual. I know that morning rituals and grounding sessions are very important. But I went ahead and went with it anyway. But we're going to completely change that for a while. It's going to be different from the hot takes, the deep dives, the mic checks, or the long form episodes. Those pieces are where we explore, question, and challenge ideas. Those will always remain. But the rest stop, that's our ritual. It started as a moment to pause, to breathe, and to reflect on the chaos. And now, it's going to become our response to the wake-up call we all just got. So starting Monday, every rest stop is going to become a short daily checkpoint in the rebuilding process. We're going to take everything we've been shouting about and start fixing it together. Every morning at 6:30, I'll meet you right here with one focused action or insight to strengthen your program's culture. One episode at a time. 5 minutes is the goal. 5 days a week. Every morning, 5 minutes, Monday through Friday. We're going to start rebuilding our culture together. Because if we start to fix the root of the culture's problems, the very things that are exhausting us, we won't need to stop as many times as we have been for a rest stop to recover. Because we'll be functioning within our purpose the right way. So here's how we'll roll with each week. Mondays, we'll talk alignment, who we are, what our lanes are, and how to stay in them. Tuesday, we'll talk about communication, the small things that make big differences in trust and in tone. Wednesday, we'll talk about governance, by far my most favorite part. The structure that keeps programs healthy and accountable. Thursday, we'll talk about volunteers, how to recruit, empower, and protect your people, and how to care for them. And then Friday, we'll speak from the heart. We'll talk about the story that reminds us why we do this in the first place. So tomorrow, the next day, enjoy your regularly scheduled rest stops. But come Monday, we shift gears. The rest stop becomes the place where reflection meets action, where burnout turns into purpose, and where we build the culture our kids deserve. If you want to make sure it's waiting for you on your drive in, hit follow right now. Because from this point on, we're not just talking about the problems, we're fixing them together. We can be angry all day long, but until we decide to start becoming the solution, we're just noise. So we'll see you Monday morning, 6:30 a.m. Let's rebuild culture, one rest stop at a time.